This is DizzyPW with MMOHuts. We've got a very exclusive access inside the 505 Games area where there seems to be a lot of interesting games going on, but we've got a member of the Dead by Daylight team who's going to be catching us up on what's been going on with the game ever since it really got big on Twitch. For those who are not aware, can you introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about what's going on with Dead by Daylight, what is the overall concept, and how far have you come since hitting early access?
All right, I'm Mathieu Cote. I'm the game director on Dead by Daylight. We've been out for a year. This is our anniversary actually today. It's been exactly 1 year. We launched at E3 last year. Asymmetrical multiplayer game where 4 survivors are trying to get out from a very bad place while being chased by another player playing a killer, trying to just whack them over the head, put them on meat hooks to be slowly sacrificed to whatever malevolent entity is recreating this nightmare over and over again. We came out last year with 3 killers, a couple of maps, and 4 survivors. A year down the line, we just had our 5th chapter come out. Every chapter that we have is 1 new killer, 1 new survivor, a new map. The maps are free for everybody, but some of the chapters have been paid DLC. We are now announcing also that the console is coming out, so that's next week on the 20th in North America and 23rd for Europe. So you can get your Dead by Daylight fix on Xbox One and PS4 when it's coming out.
And can you tell us a little bit about the characters, the progression system, and maybe just fill us in on some of the cooler new characters that have come out that our audience might not be aware of since checking it out a year ago?
So yeah, obviously we've changed a lot the way the progression has gone. There's still a very, very deep progression. We keep adding more perks and powers and add-ons and items for the killer and survivor. The last chapters that we had was the Doctor. This is called the Spark of Madness. So the Doctor is the new killer, uses electroshock therapy to make people a little mad and see things that aren't there exactly. New survivor is called Fong. She's a esports athlete. Bit of a loner. She's got a few perks that come in that really change the way things are. We've had a few interesting characters that we've brought in. We've also brought some people from outside of our universe, more or less, that came in. A few months ago we had the Left Behind update, which essentially came from Left 4 Dead. So we have Bill from Left 4 Dead that came to join us as a survivor with his own perks that are now firmly part of the meta game. We also had last Halloween, we added Halloween to the game. So we had Michael Myers and Laurie Strode come to join. You can't get pretty much any bigger than the original slasher. For us, it was kind of a big deal. We're still looking at other people from outside, whether it's movies or TV shows or games, that could join the ranks of our killers and survivors. But we mostly want to tell our own stories. We have more people, more killers, more survivors that we want to bring in to enrich what we have so far.
Can you give us a rundown on the maps? I know it started off with a junkyard style map. What have you added since then?
So when we started, we had a farmland, we had a junkyard, and we had an industrial forest. Since then, we've added an asylum with a courtyard around. We've added what was the second one? I'm trying to do them in order. So the suburbs for Michael Myers, of course, Haddonfield was there. We've also added the swamp, which is a very different map to play in. And we just now added our first fully interior map, which was the treatment center that the doctor comes with. And essentially it's a procedurally generated building with a few different rooms that are always there. To me, that was one of the most exciting ones because people have been asking for an interior map, but also it really, to me, hits on the head the idea we've always had with our procedural system, which is you go in there and you recognize the place. Some things are very familiar, but it's like those nightmares where you're back in the high school, you know by heart this place, but then you turn a corridor, it used to be different. You open a door that used to be a cupboard, and now it's a basement. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. And with this interior map and the way the walls and the rooms are created, you'll always end up in the same places. You know, the central room is the same, the doctor's office is a certain way, but you can't really get your bearings. You'll still be lost hours and hours and hours in, which is great.
That's pretty exciting. So with the console launch coming up, is there any big changes to gameplay, or are you just in a fine-tuning and polishing mode?
Well, we've added quite a lot to what we call the quality of life of the games, tweaks and changes. We did a really big push 2 months ago about the UI and the menu flow, which we had to redo completely for the console. Obviously, we needed the full controller support, and it was a great opportunity for us because 1 year down the line, we've learned a lot about how people play the game and how people want to navigate and what's useful and what's less useful, you know, compared to the ideas we had before the game launched. So when we had an opportunity, or we were forced to have that opportunity to redo all the menus and redo all the flow of the game, it allowed us, I believe, to make things a lot smoother and a lot better for the overall experience. And we put that on PC and console. So those two games will be essentially the same. We want them to be on par the whole time. The console version coming out right now is a special edition. It comes with the full game, plus every single DLC we've released so far. So all the chapters except Michael Myers as a licensed thing, it's gonna come to consoles, but it's not there on day one. And the head case, which is a cosmetic pack that we released last week, is not gonna be part of the initial offering on console either. But other than that, every single chapter we've done so far is gonna be in part of the base offering on console. Every cosmetic pack that we've done also will be there.
Fantastic. Final question: is there any specific horror IP you'd love to see partnered with the game next?
Oh my God, that's a very hard one to speak about, because we are in talks with many of those people, and I can't really leak or blurt out, which I tend to do quite a lot. But I mean, I'll just say, personally, I'm a huge fan of Stephen King. Very excited about a lot of his stuff that's coming out right now. Yeah, I'd love to see something like that.
Fantastic note to end it on. Thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Hey guys, this is Mike here, just to say, just before we end this video, that we have an exclusive raffle going on right now where you can win copies of Dead by Daylight, as well as exclusive cosmetic codes for the Steam version of the game. Just check out the description below for more info.